Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hi, hello if you're a new subscriber. Hi, thank you for joining us. If it's your first time here, please subscribe, like, comment and share. That would be very appreciated. So I have been absent really for the last few days, and I have had still have it a little bit, sinus infection kind of thing. It's not very pleasant, so I haven't been wanting to come online to speak. However, because it hurts. However, it has lent me a lot of time to just kind of like absorb the YouTube world. And part of it is why we're doing this reading today. I have heard this before, but the Duke of Windsor and the Duchess of Windsor were associated with, or inferred that they were associated with, the Nazis in World War II. So I had ended up watching a documentary on it yesterday, and it stirred my brain, and I was like, oh my god, this would be an amazing reading. Obviously, we've got to do it from like a kind of like now perspective, but we can still have a look at it. So if you're not familiar with it, the Duke of Windsor was king, but he had to abdicate in 1936 to marry Wallis Simpson, who was the first American divorcee to marry the royal family. And then in October 1937, he visited Hitler. Oh yeah, he went over to Germany with his wife and he visited Hitler. They were doing full-on Nazi salutes at Hitler. It was not supported by the royal family. The royal family did not support him going across and visiting Hitler. When the war broke out, he was appointed as a major general in France. But Churchill kind of had his cards marked from the start. He knew exactly kind of what was going on with him. Churchill did believe that the Duke of Windsor had Nazi sentiments, and he sent him to be the governor of the Bahamas. Just out of the way, you go over there, furthest away from all of the war, all of the intelligence, everything like that, and he got him out of the way. However, when Churchill requested for him to go to the Bahamas, the Duke of Windsor played around and went to Spain and Portugal and stayed with some other Nazi sympathizers while he was there. It does look very damning. So there was some files were produced after the end of World War II. In 1947 they were found. They're called the Marlborough Files, and within it is a group of documents called the Windsor Files, and there's 60 documents including telegrams, letters, etc. And within that there was something called Project Wiley or Project Willie. I think it's Wiley. And it's what would happen with the Nazis' plan if they were successfully invaded Britain, what they would do to Britain. And that was going to be get rid of the current monarchy as we know it, so the Queen's father, the king at the time, and all of them, and put the Duke of Windsor back in charge. So it doesn't look great for him, but how much of this did he know? Was he just being a little bit foolish in his judgment? Was he really aware of how bad the Nazis were? Or, what was it? Was it because they flattered his ego? Was it because he abdicated and he felt like he'd lost out? There was a thing with Wallis Simpson that they refused to give her her Royal Highness title, and he did feel very bitter about that for some years after it, apparently. So yeah, it's very interesting. It's so convoluted. I just loved it. So okay, so I'm going to do a Celtic cross spread, and I'm doing Rider-Waite. The Celtic cross spread, I'm doing it in a slightly different way, questioning wise. It's from the look of, because he's long dead now. It's of the look of what was happening around the situation with regarding his affiliation with the Nazis. So I'll talk you through it. I'm doing a Celtic cross spread, and the reason I do that is it shows you the pattern and where the cards are meant to go, their meaning, etc. And I shuffle like this so I cannot see, and you know I don't know which way the cards are going up. Okay, so let us have a look at the Duke of Windsor. Okay, so at the heart of this matter of the situation, judgment. He felt okay, so he felt judged, and he was judging. He felt like he was severely judged by the British government, by the Church of England, by the rest of the royal family, so 3 major institutions in the UK, basically because they colluded and got him removed. He was also very judgmental of the royal family's behaviour and how he felt they had hurt him and dismissed him, and the British government's behaviour. Interesting with this as well is his mother was German, so that's where the British German royal family, one of the places the British royal family is connected with Germany, so he felt very patriotic towards Germany as well. If we look at this card and think of it as a visual, he felt judged by, there's the church, there's the England flag, it's St. George's Cross. It looks like he felt like he was at the end of the judgment, and he was, maybe unfairly judged from it. What was crossing him? Ace of Swords, and that's Ace of Swords reversed, so he felt like it was an unfair choice. He felt like he was kind of cut off abruptly. He doesn't feel that he was managed in a way that was fair. He really, and it's quite it's a new start, but it's an aggressive kind of forced new start. He felt very angry about everything, and he really felt rejected by this. I know it's very easy for me to say this now in hindsight, but the cards are saying, look, he felt completely rejected and he felt judged. So what was underlying the situation? The Knight of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so yeah, stability. He was somebody who was quite, let me put it this way, he was somebody he slept with, he used to have a lot of extramarital affairs when he wasn't married, though. He was the bit on the side, as it were, and that's because he feared commitment. And all of those things that he used to love doing, he was very flamboyant. He was very much loved, kind of like Prince Harry was. Way back, he was kind of like that. The people were very affectionate for him. He's seen as like the Playboy Prince. That it got turned on his head. So yeah. So he was somebody who was very gracious, very, very warm, very friendly, but he had some problem behaviours with him, and that's what really drove the situation. What was known about the situation? Knight of Cups reversed. Okay, again, this is a man who had a very playboy image, a very emotional kind of guy, and this is what drove him to. He felt like his ego had been smashed. He felt rejected. He felt like, there's a bit of a playboy, loves his earthly pleasures and all that kind of thing, and there's a guy who's, everybody's seen as, a kind of emotional, dapper, eligible kind of bachelor kind of guy, and that's been reversed, and he is no longer seen as this kind of wonderful guy. And there's this sense of, I'm getting from these 4 cards, that there's a sense of like almost rejection's drive in the situation where he's gone over to Nazi Germany. Okay, so let's Page of Swords. So again, What left the situation when we're looking back through his life, Page of Swords reversed again. He now looks at himself and his younger days. He thought he was, you know, this kind of like very energetic, boyish, you know, this is all tanks and guns, well, plastic toy tanks and guns, playing with stuff like that. And that in reverse is like he now perceives that as kind of like a failure. He's very bitter about what has happened and how he has been judged. Okay, so we're going to move on and look at his mental health. Eight of Pentacles reversed. He didn't feel like he could get a job done. He didn't feel like he could hit completion. He felt like a failure, man. He really did. Wow. And what surrounded it? Temperance. Right. So he was trying to balance all of these different emotions, and he was trying to balance his behaviour. What really drove him was a fear of rejection and trying to counterpoint, like trying to fit in somewhere else, I'm feeling. So there was like a balancing act around him. So he was really trying to not to lose face in the public eye, and he was really trying not to lose face in his social circles as well. So yeah. Okay, what did he hope and fear about this? King of Wands reversed. So the King of Wands could be it's somebody who's a very creative, very flamboyant kind of fire sign, and it's somebody who's can be very like aloof as well. So he was frightened of a fire sign. He was frightened of a fire sign, but in this context, if he was scared of him, he would be scared of like the aggressive outbursts and things like that. I think he was frightened of Hitler. Genuinely do think he was frightened of Hitler. So what came out of it? Knight of Wands reversed. Yeah, let me just get the other cards. Page of Cups. Have you seen how many male archetypes are here? How damaged was this man's ego? I just got to say that. He was smashed. He was absolutely smashed. And I tell you what, because the Page of Cups is reversed, in later years, all wasn't what it seems all happy lovey-dovey with the love of his life there. I generally don't feel that. He was frightened of something. He was frightened of somebody. And that somebody, I'm just like, wait, who was the most dominant fire sign that he was associated with? Oh yeah, Hitler. I think he went in through hurt, and then he did not really believe any of it. We just wanted somewhere to go. As odd as that sounds, you want to associate with that kind of thing, but people do. I don't know. With the Knight of Wands, again, he's really felt like he's lost that bravado, that kind of the energy that's very creative, very lovery, very, you know, Mr. Dapper, Mr. Wonderful. I am the be all and end all kind of energy, and it's gone, and he's feeling like the Page of Cups in reverse. And for somebody who had like quite a large libido, let's put it that way, there's a lot of like male energy in this reading, and he's ended up kind of regretful in his emotions, feeling a bit rejected, dejected, and being quite a little bit immature about how he's feeling. After all those years? Wow. So basically, everything he did with the Nazis was spite. Oh my God. that wasn't easy to read, man. He is just wow, wow. Fancy getting so up in your knickers about things that you're like, ooh, I'm really offended. I'm gonna be a Nazi. Oh, hi, man. Yeah. So he really does have some high ideas, but it's interesting how many like male cards have come out, including the King of Wands. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, that mightn't be Hitler. That might just be him. He's worried about losing his creativity, his libido, his va-va-voom. But no. Well, I never. Wow. Wow. Well, he's been a long time dead. But it just goes to show. I'm going to leave the documentary that I watched in and out with my fever yesterday uh, in the comment section, in the description box. So check it out if you want to. It is very interesting, very eye-opening. So yeah, thank you so much for sitting and listening to me bumble through this. Like I said, I'm still not quite 100% better, but I am trying. Thank you so much for coming on this little kind of tarot journey with me, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care now. Bye bye.